Most small business owners make the mistake of hiring a bunch of casuals instead of intentionally planning to hire and committing to a full-time staff member. And on the surface, it feels safer. And I still recommend hiring casuals for the hours that you require when you start out if you're nervous about hiring, because it feels less scary. Because you think, well, I'm not locked into a big wage every single week, and maybe I don't have to give them any hours if someone cancels on me. I'm just paying people when I need them. But it's actually costing you way more money and giving you way more stress than what is logical for actually growing a sustainable business. So here's how that actually plays out. You hire one casual for a couple of days, and then you add another to fill in the gaps because that one doesn't want to work on Tuesdays. And then maybe you hire a third to cover the other weekends or the random shifts because you haven't got any consistency. And before you know it, you've got 3 different people all working random hours that all have their own subscriptions, their own extra payments to your accountant, their own payroll tax, their own equipment that you should be supplying if they are employees on your books, and their own liability. Every new person that you have in your business is a different human that you have to bring in and manage and lead. And without intentionally planning for that, that can create a lot more problems than what it's worth. Before you know it, you've got 3 different people all working random hours. That adds up to 38 hours a week, and that's literally a full-time role. But instead of one person who's committed to you, you've got 3 different casuals who are all half-assing it. You're trying to train, manage, and schedule rosters around what suits them instead of what you need as the business owner. None of them are fully invested because it's not their career. It's just their side gig. They've probably got another job, they cancel shifts, they swap hours, and you're left constantly juggling, trying to keep everyone happy. You think that you've avoided commitment by hiring casuals, but what you've really done is multiplied your headaches by 3. So now let's talk about the money side of this. Casuals come with casual loading. And yes, I know that full-timers have sick leave and we pay them on public holidays, but have you actually ever ran the numbers in your business to see which one is the best fit? Paying casuals with loading means that you pay them a higher hourly rate because they don't get paid leave or their sick leave entitlements. So on paper, let's say $30 an hour may sound fine. But once you add up 38 hours across 3 people at $30 an hour, that's $1,140 per week. Oh, not to mention every new person that you have is significantly more, especially in Australia and a lot of people in the United States, for their workers' compensation insurance as well. So now compare that to a full-timer. You might put them on a rate that works out to be around $25 an hour. And once you factor in their annual leave and sick leave, spread that across the year, that's $950 a week. Straight away, you're saving almost $200 every single week, not to mention you're not doing all these random rosters and trying to see where you can get work for each of these people over a year. That's more than 10 grand back in your pocket. It's the things like this that people refuse to look at that have a significant effect on the way they can grow their business. And instead of having 3 half-committed casuals, you've got one person who is reliable, who's easier to train, and fully focused on your business. And if you offer traineeships like we do at Beskar Cleaning, we offer diplomas and certificate 4s in leadership and management, not in cleaning, because good employees don't want to be cleaners forever. And by doing a diploma of leadership management, it equips them with the skills they need to step into higher positions with us as our company grows. But you can't legally offer that to someone who is casual in Australia. And it's not about the dollars alone. Full-timers bring in consistency. When you have one person in a role, they get to build the skill a hell of a lot faster. They know who your clients are and they care about your outcomes. They see your business as their career and not just another pit stop. And that consistency lifts your standards in your business, and clients notice when the same person shows up, when the quality stays the same, and when the communication runs smoother. The clients also notice when you have a lot of stress that you shouldn't have on your shoulders. And that's what builds trust and retention by planning to hire the right way. Because culture does matter a lot in your business too. Staff take your business more seriously when they see full-time opportunities. And honestly, it attracts higher quality staff members in my experience. If everyone is casual, no one feels like they need to stick around. Your business becomes transient. And that's probably why you have such a high staff turnover. But when you offer a full-time role, you show stability, you show that there's room to grow, you give them opportunities to grow into management roles as your business grows, and you get to offer further incentives like qualifications and training on the job, which attracts higher quality people and locks them in for a longer amount of time. That attracts better talent and it builds loyalty around your brand. The fear of hiring full-time is a mindset problem. Business owners cling to casuals because they think that flexibility keeps them safe. What's actually happening is they're paying more per hour, getting less commitment, and dealing with triple the headaches, and still ending up with the exact same hours that they were scared to commit to in the first place. But now you've committed to keeping 3 people employed and not 1. So if you're paying 38 hours across multiple different casuals, you already have a full-time role. You're just doing it the hard way. You're paying more for getting less. So stop thinking as full-time employment as a risk and start seeing it as a foundation to building something better. One reliable full-timer will outperform 3 casuals every single day of the year. They'll save you money, they'll give you consistency, and they'll reduce the churn in your business. That means they will reduce how often you need to rehire amount of clients that leave you. And yes, with a full-timer, you're responsible for paying their leave and their entitlements, but when you average the cost over a year, it's still cheaper than casual loading. Plus, you get the benefits of stability, efficiency, and creating the culture that you want for your scaling business. So I'll tell you from my own experience. The moment that I stopped juggling a pile of casuals that I had done in reactive mode because this single mom wanted those shifts and she wanted to pick her kid up at this time, but that one has to drive half an hour away and do this and meet that. And that one one of them didn't even have a car. It was a big wake up call for me because I had to realize that as a CEO and as a true leader, I had to start being way more intentional about what I needed in my business. And so let's just put it this way. If it cost you $800, which is the going rate on Seek right now, to advertise a full-time position or a casual position for 1 month, Seek is a job advertisement platform. If you're paying that amount of money to hire one casual that does 8 hours, is that in itself the same return to you as spending that amount of money to hire one full-timer? Or maybe even more? At the same time, I actually went through switching from a sole trader to incorporating all of my businesses as a company. And at that time, I committed to employing full-time roles. And my business started to stabilize and I had a lot less rostering issues. I had way better quality control and I had less staff headaches to deal with. Training became a hell of a lot easier and clients were overall happier. And I wasn't constantly stressed about who was covering which shift and when and who wasn't going to show up and if it suited what time her kid finishes daycare or not. It gave me the space to think of something bigger instead of babysitting my own staff that were often twice my age. So if you've got 3 casuals patching together full-time hours, you need to make the switch. Commit to a full-time role. It's going to save you money. It's going to save you stress. And it's going to give you the stability that you need to scale efficiently. Casuals feel like they're providing you with flexibility, and sometimes that's okay in the start as you get used to going through your teething problems of hiring for the first time. They keep you stuck. Full-timers feel like a leap, but they're the step that makes your real growth possible.